Player Development is a free after-school program for at-risk children, boys and girls, ages 5 to 16. Some of the children are court-ordered to us, some by social services, some from school guidance counselors. The rest come word of mouth. Most of our children are from single-parent homes. Everyone at Player Development is volunteer. We work hard to ensure everyone, including the volunteers, have fun. We try to be creative and flexible while ensuring the volunteers feel they are truly giving back to the community. We have 4 groups of volunteers. The first is my wife and I. I'm a baseball coach, and Lisa's an educator with a master's degree in science and a second master's in education. We keep Player Development open from 1 to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday on school days and 9 to 5 on vacation days. Saturday we go from 9:30 to noon, followed by computer class from 1 to 3. The second group, which currently numbers near 70, are just individual members of the community. We have students from the medical schools, students from the secondary schools doing community service projects, and even tourists. The third group are organizations ranging from the Rotary and the Yacht Club to the Islands Labor Union to Animal Welfare Foundation. I believe in giving is a two-way street, so we also try to assist our partners. The fourth group is what I call the unexpected. They include a stray dog, a homeless man, our own children as the older ones are taught how to teach the smaller ones. We have senior citizens and even an Alzheimer's patient. The Alzheimer's patient struggled to remember his own name, didn't even try to remember the children's names, but he could read and he remembered baseball stories. One day shortly after the storm, we had a GE electrician come to the field to fix some downed wires. I asked him if he'd give a small talk to the children about not touching wires. He was happy to do so. Later he came back and volunteered to wire our clubhouse for free. What started out as a baseball team has evolved into a learning center that incorporates healthy lifestyle, education, anger management, and most importantly, smiling. We treat everybody like family. We'll communicate each night on Facebook. This way, even those who have left the island are still involved through a pen-pal relationship. Brianna was a spouse of a medical student at AUC. She volunteered for us for 2 years. After she left, she continued writing the children. One letter, she included a photo of her dog getting ready to eat a book. Thinking quickly, we got out our copy of Dr. Seuss. I'm going to teach my dog 100 words. This became a reading contest to see who was smarter than the dog. The contest lasted several weeks and resulted in a lot of new learned words. We use rewards as incentives. We give out baseball cards for good reading to the baseball players and find other things like bead making of necklaces for the girls. We collect stamps and coins to teach geography. One of our volunteers collects stamps. He sits with the children and shows the stamps how to handle the stamp. He talks about the cancellation marks. He helps the children find the country on the map and see how far that stamp or coin had to travel just to get to St. Martin. He made the mistake of telling the children that he lost his collection in the storm. The next day, the children made him a collection and presented it to him the next time he volunteered. He nearly broke down in tears. One of our 5-year-old boys was not interested in collecting stamps or coins. Instead of getting mad and trying to force the little guy to do something, we realized he liked trains. So we put it out on Facebook. We needed pictures of trains. Soon he was collecting photos of trains to the United States, Netherlands, Germany, Russia, and even Japan, and learning geography. We encourage the children to be volunteers, to write. For the kids, they learn how to spell and communicate. They ask questions and receive answers. They write thank you letters to learn manners. Recently, Mr. Steve became a volunteer by accident. He and his wife visited the island regularly. He heard the children had lost their practice uniforms in the storm. His wife works at a sporting goods store. They arranged to get 20 practice jerseys and pants. While making the presentation, Mr. Steve mentioned he was a train conductor. The children were amazed. Since then, Conductor Steve has sent the children more than 30 pictures of trains and 20 letters. The children ask everything from is it fun to ride on a train every day to is there a school to learning to be a conductor. They write back and forth to this day. When a child arrives, we give them a reading test, a sight word test, and a math test. These tests help us to determine their current level, and we compare that to their school grade. We also check their height and weight, percent of body fat. This was important, particularly after the storm, as several children showed signs of malnutrition. Thus, we had to start a food program. One of the best chefs on the island, Chef Dino, saw it on Facebook that we were feeding the children. He and his mom teamed up and bring high-quality hot lunches to the children several times a week. One day they brought linguine. That's the flat noodles. The children had never seen flat noodles before. Most get their meals out of a can. Some of the children thought maybe the spaghetti had been dropped on the floor. Jeff Dino mentioned he had a soft spot for the Little League as he once played. The next thing you knew, the children had invited him out on the field to play. Our volunteers bring guitars, keyboards, paint sets, and all kinds of things. What are their passions?